What's happening, people? Back with another reaction, back with some more Frida, and we're returning to the 1996 album, which I now understand translates to Deep Breaths. Thank you again to Adrian and to all the folks following this deep dive. And the next tune, according to Google Translate, means the eyes. So obviously I won't be able to discern the meaning of the lines in the moment, but eyes are an organ allowing you to see in a transparent medium and thus to witness or to behold things in your environment, whether that is, in the case of emotional social creatures like humans, the behavior of another as it relates to you, or to perceive in a more figurative or metaphorical sense. So yeah, there's a lot of potential in the title, but as I said, I will rely on you folks to fill me in as to the lines and or their meaning. So let's give it a listen. This is Frida. The track apparently translates to the eyes, and it's from her 1996 album, which means Deep Breaths. So my immediate thought, and my thought right at the end as well, is that there's definitely a funkiness to this, and maybe even a bit of a blues, like a blues funk type of flavor. The bass line in particular has this funky, groovy quality. Some of the guitar work, I suppose, almost had a bit of a like folksy touch, because I think it was an acoustic guitar, or at least part of the sonic arrangement. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but yeah, there's a bit of a like funk blues soul touch to this one, most notably in the bass line, but that wasn't the only aspect. The supporting vocals had a bit of that feel too, and it definitely was, it felt more 90s. Again, it felt like a funk pop track from the 90s, not the 80s. And again, that's based on my associations with some other deep dives and my own musical consumption from my single digit years in the 80s and my teen years in the 90s. But yes, if you played this for me, I would be more inclined to think that it was a 90s track than an 80s track, which I know it's easy to say that when you know precisely the year it was released, but I do feel like it sounds evolved compared to the production on her 80s albums that I've heard. So yes, definitely you can get a sense that this is years after the previous release I listened to. It was not minimal per se, but it definitely wasn't like a big, full, like busy tune sonically. It had this stripped down sound, which, there's blues songs that have that quality where it's, a guitar, a bass line, some drums, and the vocals, and that's it. There's not like big keyboard sections or like a very robust like production overall. So in that respect, it felt like it was minimal, even if it's maybe a bit fuller than you normally would say when you use that word. I think her vocals are compelling, and again, maybe even had a bit of a funky quality to them, although there are a couple moments where just the sonorous quality of her voice came through. Once again, I don't know what to make of the lyrics, so I look forward to some insight there, but the feel of the tune was not, it wasn't like heavy and dramatic. It also wasn't necessarily, light and uplifting. It just had this, groove of life type of feel, maybe again with a bit of a funky flavor. So I do wonder how the eyes are being discussed or represented here. But yeah, definitely a dynamic tune, and one that, again, speaks to the variety of her catalog, which, I went through a couple albums already where it was like, dang, this, there's a lot going on in this album. Some different sonic flavors, some different genres or styles. And, there were different opinions on that, whether it was a bit too all over the place or reflective of her desire to explore some different styles, which, maybe both are true at the same time, that an album can be perhaps less focused than some other albums sonically, but still be something worthy of praise in terms of trying some different genres and subgenres, and that not necessarily being a bad thing. So yeah, I'll be curious to track this album sonically as we go through it. Once again, shout out to Adrian, but also to Darren, who sent me another Frida album that I'm looking forward to checking out in due time. Do let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.